Hey YouTube, Dan Ottawa here, the best third/fourth tier Pokemon Go battler in the world, coming at you with another Kanto Cup team. But before I start, I wanted to actually just talk about GBL for season, and it's based on what I've seen from PvP YouTubers, because I've been watching myself. I'll do an end of the year recap about like my goals for the season and the channel. And one of my goals was a certain amount of subscribers, and October and November have really like plateaued. And I was like, I know I've been busy with the baby. Is it just me? And I kind of looked around the other PvP YouTubers, and it's been the same. And to me, you're seeing sort of like a GBL like boredom to a certain extent, because I mean the game is buggy. We know it's buggy. It's been buggy since season 1. If you play for 9 seasons now, you're gonna play through the bugs and you just get used to it. But the actual competition, I was just thinking about. I was looking at the YouTubers subscribers, and they've kind of plateaued, and the views are not getting as much. And I was like, I was looking at like the meta, and even in like they do with the poison buff, but all the poison buff, like it shook up the meta, but it shook up the meta, so now Nidoqueen is everywhere. And Golbat has a lot more play everywhere. So these little changes that they make, like little tweaks and nerfs, are not doing enough in GBL to make it like entertaining enough. It doesn't change the meta up enough. It's the same old. So season 10 is coming up probably first week of December, end of November. I really hope they try and do something big. Like I really hope they try and do like a pick 6 play 3 sort of like Sylph style, because I think that's a lot more fun, and it'll change it up a bit. If they just make like, oh, this is getting a buff, this is getting a nerf, you're gonna have the same sort of like, okay, these 1 or 2 Pokemon will change a bit, use them a bit more, use them a bit less, but otherwise it's the same meta. So I'm really hoping that something changes for season 10, because the season 9 has been a little lackluster in my opinion. So that being said, let's go into the Kanto Cup. And this team I wanted to use was I wanted to build around Graveler, because I've seen Graveler used before. I've used it before. It's a sneaky strong Pokemon because it's got a little more bulk, being a second evolution. The Volt Switches obviously is a hard-hitting move, and then the Stone Edge is also a nice hard-hitting move. Rock Blast is just more of like a bait move. So I'm like, okay, it's weak to ground. It's weak to ground and it's weak to water. So I put in a Mew, because Mew is kind of like versatile enough that it deals with a lot of different Pokemon, and it has the Surf for those ground type Pokemon, and Wild Charge does like a nuke for, let's say, like the water type Pokemon that you and I see. And then I just needed something with a little more bulk that has like just all around coverage. And so I used Blastoise again. And Steam did okay. I'm going to show you like one match in particular. I'll show you a bunch of wins. But I'm going to show you one match in particular where I lost. And I was like, if I just made this slight change, this team would be better. So let's take a look at the battles and see how they went. So Graveler into Hypno. So one of the reasons I put Graveler in is because so I'm behind, it gets delayed. So now they're ahead on a move. So they're going to be one ahead here, which is too bad. But one of the reasons I put Graveler in is because like it can kind of just keep up with Hypno. These Stone Edges like hurt, and unless they're running like an Ice Punch, Thunder Punch is resisted, and it's a shadow. It's a non-shadow, so I expected it to be Thunder Punch Shadow Ball, because that's what most non-shadows are running with. And that almost takes out. So they go back to back here, which is great. So I grabbed a shield and I put this Hypno in the red. So that is great, and that's kind of like one of the reasons we both simultaneously swap into different Pokemon. So that was interesting. Kind of got lucky with the simultaneous swap, because I'm going to have to eat a move here, but I can survive on Surf. And I didn't want to go back to back here with the Wild Charges, because one Wild Charge to a Shadow Lapras will take this out. And this is why Mew's got a lot of play as well in this league, because you got that for this, and then depending on what comes in, I quickly charge. I can get to the Surf here, take this out. So Mew also has a lot of play. So the Graveler Mew combo I kind of liked. Blastoise is where I was a little I didn't love it as much. And they come in with their own Graveler. And this is why Graveler is kind of sneaky, because the only reason I'm going to win this is because I have 2 shields, so I can just full out water gun down and not worry about throwing. But even though you're weak to water, you have those Volt Switches. So as you can see, like those Volt Switches are adding up. It's not going to matter because I had two shields, so I can just water gun down, and they had no shot there. But even in bad matchups, like the Volt Switches can like chunk against waters. So great lead here. In comes the Nidoqueen, coming in with my Mew, because Mew is, I think, my best option. Blastoise will lose in like maybe the one shield because you just go Poison Fang and get poisoned down. But if you go Surf here, you can at least it's a non-shadow, so it's one Surf won't take it out. Probably gonna shield this up and Surf it. I don't know if I'll get to a second one. The problem with Nidoqueen is like even in bad matchups it does pretty well, right? I think I can maybe get to a third because these Shadow Claws are such a like quick generating move. So I cannot take it out there because it's a non-shadow, but do I get to the next one to take this out? So that's good. So I can keep alignment with the Pidgeot and my Graveler, which is amazing because I don't need to worry about these moves. We get the lag, which kind of helps me out there because now I get to a move. I mean, I think I would have got to move anyways because it takes 5. They do not shield. So I should have probably just thrown Stone Edge there. Again, I'm going to, they do Brave Bird me, is resisted, so they have no shot. Oh, and it's a Lapras. So they are extremely weak to Graveler. And that's like Graveler's a nice pick. Like Pidgeot, Flyers, Waters here. You can do a decent amount. It does well against the Hypno. So it's got some play overall. I'm going to be coming out with a video soon on baiting and when to bait and when to not bait. Because in a lot of my videos, I say never bait. Because that's kind of like my strategy. My strategy has always been go for the nuke to do a ton of damage or take them out, or grab a shield. But there are certain situations where you should bait, and people ask me like, when do you bait, when do you not bait? So I'm gonna do a video on that coming up soon. I just want to get like a couple more battles where I can like showcase when I would bait and when I don't bait, and when I call and when I don't call, stuff like that. So Snorlax in the next matchup here. So Snorlax is tricky. So they leave and come into the Hypno. So I have a good response in Mew. So let's just get out of here and come into Mew. But Snorlax is tricky because the superpowers are going to hurt a lot. The body slams are easily resisted, but you then need to like call them. I don't think a Surf will take this out here, so I'm not going to play around. Let's just go, like I said, let's just go for the nuke or take this out, and they let it go. So able to take it out. My defense is down. They come with the Snorlax, and this is why I love Mew, because Mew is just like a super fast generating Pokemon. So I got one wild charge off. I'm gonna get the second wild charge off. Can I get to a third? No, I'm 4 times lower now. So I just got licked down quite easily. So they come in here, they throw the superpower. So I had to shield it up because that would like destroy me. And they come with Machamp. So I clicked to get out of there. The game did not let me get out right away, unfortunately. I banked 2 moves, or at least 1.5 moves for the as you can see, this game is very laggy. I know I need to shield up 1 because I need to get a Hydro Cannon off, and then, or maybe my computer's been kind of spinning today, so if there's misalignment with the audio or something, that's why. And I need to get the Rock Blast off. I do win CMP here, it looks like, which is great because this Rock Blast will KO. And now I just need to grab oh no, I'm against the Snorlax. So I need to go. The good news is they just do the superpower. And because I'm so low with energy, I need to go Stone Edge, which is a good amount. And now I need to go to Rock Blast. And it looks like I got a little delayed there on their end. Both of us dealing with a lot of lag that game. Get the Rock Blast off to take this out. So can't tell if that was a game that I won because of lag or because just, I don't know. Ninetales. Ninetales is a good lead here because fire is obviously resisted, and they're not leaving. Even if it's a Psyshock, I do shield it up just because it is a Psyshock, but even a Psyshock does not do that much to me, so I don't need to shield that one. I'm doing it because they're staying in, so they're likely to shield back, and they don't shield back because they decided not to. Okay, so at this point I'm like, okay, I can't go net 2 shields here, but they're within Volt Switch range. Let's just come out loaded here. If they are not switching out of a fire, it means they're weak to rock this in the back, and it's a Wigglytuff. So there you go. They are very weak to this in the back if Wigglytuff is coming out. So I do some chip damage. I'm just going to throw this as well. I don't know if I want to get farmed down. So do I just come in with Blastoise, or do I get farmed? Yeah, I take that charm anyway. So Blastoise is a good response here. I think it's actually my computer that's causing this to lag. So I apologize if the game is, this shoutcast is a little laggy today. But Lapras, again, Laprases are everywhere. Lapras is a good pick because it's got some wide coverage and it's tanky. but it's not a great pick against the Wild Charge Mew. So here comes the Wild Charge. This will one-shot if they let it go. They do not let it go, but I get to another one. So this one was one-shot. They're going to go down here. Mew putting work in the back end. So having a fast charger is nice. And then this one, I already have a move, but let's just water gun them down and take them out. So the next match here, Graveler against Nidoqueen. So okay, here's your tough. You need to switch immediately. Mew is going to be your safe swap, and then met with a Lickitung, and this is not a good start because I have no shot here. I know I need to let this go, and why I didn't throw is because if I threw, then one Body Slam would take me out. But knowing that one Body Slam can't take me out if I don't lower my defense, I'll take that and then throw the Wild Charges. The problem is 2 Wild Charges against an XL Lickitung is not even going to take it out. So that's brutal because they're probably still going to have a move coming out. Probably coming with Graveler just because the move is probably going to be Body Slam. I doubt that they're going to get to a Power Whip. I don't know though because I don't know how to count. They do throw quickly. Do I let it go or do I shield thinking it's a Power Whip? I let it go. It's just a Body Slam, so that's good. That's resisted. Let's get ahead on energy here. So that's nice. I'm going to have to just get out of here immediately. And I met with a Dugong. And this is the one, this is the match. I was like, okay, this is not bad because they're just going to have Ice Shard and Icy Wind and they're both resisted, so I'll do great. And look at how much those Ice Shards and Icy Winds are chunking. That I'm already down into the yellow. So I tried to bait here thinking they were going to call my only move and it was the Skull Bash, but they don't. So this game's over. Because I need to shield now. Because I'm just getting like destroyed with these Icy Winds and Ice Shards. So I was actually very surprised about that from a Blastoise. Taking that super effective from, no, it's not super effective, it's all resisted, but taking that from a Dugong. So get out of here. I know they're unlikely to shield, so let's just go for the Stone Edge, see how much it does. It is a Shadow. I know it's resisted, but maybe it'll do a decent amount. And it does do an okay amount. And they do throw here, so that's good. Because now my only win condition is like coming in, getting a bunch of water guns, and having 2 Hydro Cans. But even that's not going to take it out, so this game's a loss. And oh, and I think they get the move off here too. So yeah, this game's definitely a loss. Yeah, so I was surprised about Blastoise. Again, Blastoise has some play. Like I showcased it before, and it has some play. But maybe just not with this team. Like maybe you need. Like again, I have 2 answers for Dugong. Like Graveler has a decent matchup against Dugong because of Volt Switches and Stone Edges, and Mew can Wild Charge, so that's not a bad matchup there. So I guess just tough alignment there. So Hypno again on the lead, non-Shadow, so you would expect a Shadow Ball and a Thunder Punch, and they are going up here. I think they let it go. They could have the Shadow Ball. Do I call it or do I let it go? Either way, I'm going to be taken out. I do let it go, thinking that, yeah, I guess my thought process is right here, and I let this go. Because my thought process was, if they have Shadow Ball, it's just going to be Thunder Punch. So I'd rather just come in here, 2 shields, ton of energy coming out of this, and it's a Nidoqueen. So we're getting hit with that leg at multiple surfs here. So I'm going to go back to back here, force 1 shield, and they don't shield. That's pretty interesting. So I know they're going to Poison Fang me. So I may just like, I got to shield because I'm super low. So Poison Fang, take the Poison Fang, shield, get out of here, Blastoise. Yep, try and Water Gun this down. Perfect. And they realize they can't get Water Gun down, so in comes the Lapras. And it's the same situation here. Like we're both doing resisted moves. We both have the super effective moves coming up here. Not super effective, but the only ones that hit. My defense rises. Do I call this? I think I call this one. I do call it, but I called incorrectly. Again, so it's, maybe I shouldn't give a bait discussion if I call that improperly, but I'll go through my thought processes when I do go over the video. So anyways, I need to load up with energy here. And then I was like, no, you know what? I don't think they can Poison Fang me down before, or Poison Jab me down before I get to the Surf here, because they're at nothing. So I even have lost count. I thought I could get to the Surf anyways before they Poison Jab me down. So that is the team. Graveler, pretty strong, wide coverage overall. Not a ton of ground unless you're running my Shadow Dugtrio. And not just mine, Home Slice and others have run it as well. Mew, nice safe swap. Blastoise has some play. Don't know if I love it in this team. So that's it. I got another team coming tomorrow, which I think is very, very meta, but it does very, very well. So if you're looking for a team that is just like is very meta but does well and you're trying to grind to legend, stay tuned for that one tomorrow. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.